out there getting wild for me. And all the pretty chicks all wanna smile at me. These rap cats, man, they all got this style for me. And if I ever see them, man, they probably bow to me. And when this beat drop, I know they gon' lean. World debut, I know they gon' fiend. Everything Mississippi to the Palm Springs. Girls from brunettes down to blonde queens. These young boys don't know what a dawn mean. I'm just a bad boy, gone clean. I'm the diamond chain choker, always remain sober. Don't drink liquor and all the game's over. Need a plane, I explain it to my broker. 3 box in the hood, top down, and ain't over. You know there's more, man, where that come from? Me and Courdel rolling back to back in one. See, the names have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out. Still I'm the most fly. I win so much they wanna know who I'm coached by. Every day approached by chicks when I was multi. Wanna give me soul side, but I'm like, don't try. I see the hisses and the disses when I go by, but see the misses on my wrists when I float by. Self-control and I can't tell you no lie. Trying to find a soulmate, you end up being soul tied. I make my money, man, without the coca. Living la vida without the loca. I'm down south, so they show me country love, and I ain't even country thug. The people give me daps and hugs, so it must be love. And I love the country grub. It feel good to hear people singing welcome back. And I ain't even selling the track, cause I'm that Harlem cat. The names have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out. This guy and no good. He was all around the tongue, but he can't go abroad. Everybody know he's a big, big fraud. Every plane that land does give you a fright. That's why he does pray and cry every night. But people don't worry, have no fright, cause we gonna expedite the extra. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a cell, please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon. Do it very shortly. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a cell, please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon. Do it very shortly. Since I was young, now I old. Never know Guyana had so much gold. Ship it out but not pay taxes. I hear we owe in the millions. He spent half on them girls, them Brazilians. But soon they are reckoning a come. The laugh them a go laugh, I run them a go run. Run, 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 run. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a cell, please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon. Do it very shortly. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a cell, please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon. Do it very shortly. Just do it very quick. Do it very shortly. Just do it. Just do it. One of them chicks say just come real quick. They say we're wrong, why you're moving so frantic. He panting, he's sweating, he's trembling inside. He say I can't stay long for the ride. Why? They shorter than a GRA invoice. Smuggling, calling, let me make my choice. My choice. As Robin Hansel, watch how fast this story spell. Lamborghini price kitchen. politician. I believe this song on Sinky mission. Just trying to dodgy extradition. He talk about change and new ambition, but we know it's just pure self-preservation. Why the paperwork tight, no more magician. Soon court gun call it for real submission. But people don't worry, have no fright, 'cause we gonna expedite the extra. As Robin and Sel, both of you going in a cell. Please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon. Do it very shortly. As Robin and Sel, both of you going in a cell. Please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon. Do it very shortly.
News and what's hot today will keep you wide in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire. Wake up, the day is bright, time to feel the flow. Turn your dial to Livewire, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, from 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel. News, views, and what's hot today will keep you wired in every way. We'll keep you wired every way, in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. So grab your coffee, your tea, your toast. With Courdel Jones, we'll give you the most. Livewire, we'll give you the way. Running to the energy, the beat of the street, the show that connects. It's where people meet. We're wired to your world, we got the news. On Livewire, there's nothing to lose. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Livewire with yours truly. It is the 16th of March, 2026. Welcome back to the program. I know we've been missing for a couple of days. Nevertheless, we're here, and the show must go on. Thank you for the persons. Morning to the persons joining us across the 10 administrative regions. Good morning to the persons joining us across the diaspora. Special good morning to the persons joining us in the comment section. Thank you guys for your continued support. Do remember to share the live so that we can have the widest viewership possible. You see at the live now, you're still messaging. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, morning, guys. Let's get into it. Morning to all those persons. Nah, me and man fall out, man. He disrespect me the other day, and everything went south. He's one of those who believe that because he holds the title of uncle, therefore do and say as they like, and you're not allowed to respond to them. So good riddance, Uncle Ronald. Anyway, let's get into it. We're going on to important things. Guys, so much been happening since I was missing. I don't know how to compact everything into one program. But we're going to discuss a couple of things, and if we got some time, we're going to touch on a few others. Right? So first things first, I gotta jump on this one first. I didn't get a chance to when it came out. We didn't have a show that day, and it was what it was. But this is the first thing I'd like to highlight. You understand? This is the first thing I'd like to highlight. And it was a bit disheartening to see a fellow Guyanese have such views on our national celebrations. Well, at least this one. And I wanted to do a live right away, but I was a bit busy with, what's the best way to put it? Trying to set my future and my life in order. So I figured I would deal with it today, right? Now, first of all, I want to say that matrimony is not a nuisance, right? It is the sound of a people celebrating their republic. Right, Miss Janky? Right? It's not a nuisance. It's a song of its people celebrating their republic. Right? And more so a free people. Now, let me tell you something. Let me make it very clear from the start. It takes a special kind of arrogance to look at a once-a-year national celebration, a celebration tied to our republic, our culture, our identity, our history as a people, and reduce it to nothing more than a public nuisance. That is what is offensive here. Not matrimony, not the music, not the people in the street, not the color or the revelry. What is offensive is the attempt to make ordinary Guyanese feel as though their joy is a problem. Right? Because that is what this argument is really saying. It is saying that the public expression of culture is somehow too loud, too messy, too vibrant, too alive, too visible, too inconvenient for a certain class of people who only seem comfortable with Guyana when Guyana is quiet, controlled, polished, and distant from the masses. And that is the problem. Because matrimony was never designed to be silent, timid, restrained, some sort of tucked away kind of celebration where nobody can hear it. Matrimony is celebration. Matrimony is movement. Matrimony is rhythm. Matrimony is public participation. Matrimony is the sound of a free people enjoying their country, expressing their creativity, embracing their identity, and marking the significance of becoming a republic. So when someone writes to the president trying to frame matrimony 2026 as lawlessness and public nuisance, what they're really trying to do is insulting the people of this country. They're insulting the thousands of Guyanese who came out to celebrate peacefully in Georgetown, Linden, Borby, Essequibo, Region 1, 8, 9, 10, everywhere. You're insulting all the bands. You're insulting the costume designers. You're insulting the performers. You're insulting the vendors. You're insulting the organizers. Melinda Janky is insulting every ordinary family who came out with children, flags, with camera, with pride to enjoy what is one of the biggest national cultural celebrations Guyanese have. And we have to say that plainly, because too often in this country, there is an effort to frame working class joy, public festivities, and open cultural celebrations as disorder. I saw some people trying to do it with the Pagwa celebrations in All Boys Town. You understand? Some persons are upset to see Afro-Guyanese celebrating an Indo-Guyanese holiday in mass numbers. It's upsetting to some people. You understand? And that mindset is deeply problematic because, let's be honest here, if Georgetown is alive for one day with music, crowds, celebration, and excitement, suddenly some people behave as if civilization has collapsed. But when the same society accommodates all kinds of other disruptions, all kinds of other noise, all kinds of other inconvenience, nobody acts like the nation is under threat. So what really is the issue here? Is the issue truly noise, or is the issue that it is the people's noise? Is the issue truly public nuisance? Or is the issue that ordinary Guyanese from every walks of life took over the public space and reminded this country that culture does not belong to the elites, like Melinda Janky? Because that is what Mashramani does, right? Mashramani is about joy. It is about democratized joy. Mashramani is one of those rare moments when the streets do not belong to status, title, money, office, or class. You see, from ministers of government, president, prime minister, ministers, permanent secretary, management staff, regular staff, driver, everybody on the road. Rich people, poor people, people who got business, people who working at the people business, people who cleaning up the people in business, everybody. The streets belong to the people. And that makes some people deeply uncomfortable, as I told you. Deeply uncomfortable. When certain elitists see the coming together of Afro, Indo, Amo, Portuguese, Chinese, mixed race, everybody. There is, on March Day, you cannot go on the road and say any race is not there, any race is not participating. All the expats out there. You understand? Now, I want to go a little further because the language being used here is very important. to call matrimony lawlessness, it's not just a criticism. Expecting some stuff to come over. Sorry guys, just let me check these camera. Right? It's not just criticism. Now, that is loaded language. That is the kind of language meant to delegitimize the entire event. That is the kind of language meant to create the impression that this was some kind of uncivilized breakdown of order. But I say to you this morning, and I say to Melinda Janki, utter nonsense. An official national event with an announced route, organized bands, government coordination, security presence, public planning, thousands of participants is not lawlessness. Let's stop the exaggeration, Melinda Janki. If somebody wants to argue that the event management could be improved, that sound systems can be better regulated, that route planning can be refined, that communication with residents can be stronger, that's completely fine, Melinda Janki. That's completely fine. That is a discussion. That is reasonable. And most of all, Melinda, that is mature. But that is not what Melinda Janki's article in the finally Scrapbook News Done newspaper. That was not what her letter was doing in the No More Scrapbook News. The letter was not constructive criticism. This is a broad brush. The brush with white, sir. A broad brush of condemnation. Whoop. Paint everybody one color. Paint everything one color. No ability to be objective. Melinda Janki. And these is the people. Some of them is like the weapon farm against Guyana. If you remember, this is a lady that had filed some worries. I think it was either stop. I can't remember exactly what the issue was. It was either something to do with the gas to shore project. Did they file something? I think Nigel Yu's sister and somebody else to try to stop the gas to shore. That's the Melinda Janki, They got certain people in this country like Christopher Ram and them that is complain about, it's not developing and things too slow and look at this and look at that. And soon as the country starts to move forward, they are the main personnel trying to hold that progress back. Could you imagine? And that's the kind of grouping Melinda Janki does fall into. Like the grouping of Christopher Ram and the lady who's lived by Houston, who I was in somebody's story, they go and protest when the U.S. carried away Maduro. Maduro, who wanted to take a large portion of Guyana and say, hey, frig y'all, this is we own. Christopher Ram, Ital, did not come out and go in front of the Venezuelan embassy and protest and say a friggin' word. Not a bloody word. But the people who are looking out for us. Guyana big body. Who will turn and say to Venezuela, not them, left them. If you touch them, you're going to got a problem. They vex with. They are upset with. When Christopher Ram are none of them. Christopher Ram is a lawyer. Christopher Ram volunteer his services to represent Guyana at the International Court of Justice. Melinda Janke is a lawyer. Instead of she write a affidavit on behalf of Guyana, she want to criticize Mashramani. This is old Jezebel behavior. You understand? This is an attempt by Melinda Janke to take a celebration that thousands enjoy and reframe it as some sort of national disgrace. And that is why people must push back. Because at the end of the day, there's a difference between wanting better management and showing outright contempt for a national festival. And that contempt is what is shining through here. And let me say this too. We have to be careful in this country about people who weaponize legal language whenever they want to suppress cultural expression. Because once people start throwing around terms like criminal nuisance and public nuisance and lawlessness in relation to a state recognized once a year national celebration, you have to ask yourself, what exactly is the end goal here? What do you want, Melinda Janke? Do you want Mashramani without music? Yeah. You want Mashramani without crowds? You want Mashramani without the feeling of excitement? Do you want Mashramani to sound like a church library? You want all of us to gather at the National Library to celebrate the Mashramani, quiet and calmly? Do you want the Republic celebration to pass like a funeral procession? Quiet and solemn? What are you exactly asking for, Melinda Janke? Because you cannot claim to support national culture while rejecting every real expression of that culture. Hold on, guys. Hold on. People don't ever show up on time. jeez. I'm so sorry, so sorry, so sorry. Yeah. People supposed to reach your work for 8:20. Ah, Guyana, what we can do? Anyway, anyway, as I was saying to y'all, or I was telling Melinda, or I was asking her, I should say, if she wants this matrimony celebration to pass like a funeral procession. What exactly are you asking for? Because you cannot claim to support national culture while rejecting every real expression of it. Culture is not always neat. Celebration is not always quiet. National pride is not always convenient. That is the nature of public life. Every country in the world has days when the people come out, the streets are activated, when music fills the air, when public celebration overrides the normal routine of the city. This is not a crisis, right? That is nationhood. That is what a confident people do, Melinda Janke. And this idea that people, or I should say, this idea that because one person or a small group is unhappy, the entire national celebration should now be branded as dangerous, lawless, offensive. That is absurd, Melinda Janke. That is not democracy, Melinda Janke. Democracy does not mean one person's comfort override public traditions of the entire nation. Democracy means learning to live together. It means balancing interests, Melinda Janke. It means recognizing that national life includes moments of public joy, cultural expression, and collective celebration. And that balance matters. Because if we don't follow this kind of thinking to its logical conclusion, then every public celebration becomes a target. Every festival becomes a problem. Every parade becomes a nuisance. Every moment of sheer joy becomes something to be sanitized, restricted, and stripped of energy until nothing meaningful remains. And then what do we have left? And Melinda Janke? A nation too afraid to express itself? A people told to celebrate quietly? A country where culture must always seek permission from discomfort? No, Melinda Janke. We as Guyanese say no. That cannot be the standard. That cannot be the standard. And if I find it especially troubling that the tone of this complaint seems to carry the kind of moral superiority. You understand? Shun godlike or shun godlike level. As if the people celebrating matrimony are somehow beneath the level of civilization or the level of civilization expected by the critics. And I ain't talking about Guyanese critics, people like Melinda Janke. That part has to be called out. Because there is often an ugly undercurrent in these conversations. A subtle but very real suggestion that the people in the streets are crude, uncultured, unruly, or lesser. And that also is dangerous because it turns public celebration into something shameful. it turns the people's joy into something suspect. It turns culture into something that must be defended instead of embraced. And we must reject that. Matrimony is not shameful. Matrimony is not vulgar because it's loud. Matrimony is not lawless because it's energetic. Matrimony is not a nuisance because it's public. Matrimony is the people. And that is exactly why it matters. Now, again, let us be balanced. Nobody is saying there shouldn't be standards. Nobody is saying event organizers cannot improve. Nobody is saying residents should not be considered. Of course, those things matter, Melinda Janke, but that conversation must be rooted in fairness, not in your elitism, not in your contempt, and not in your hysteria. Not this dramatic attempt to make it sound as though matrimony is some kind of criminal enterprise. Because once you move into that territory, Melinda, you're no longer making a constructive point. You're attacking the legitimacy of the event itself. And people have every right to resist that framing. You understand? Every right to resist that framing. But I done with Melinda. I want to take y'all to a video I saw on Facebook. And I tell you, we can get through all of them. It's a set. It's a set of shit. I swear to you, every time I take a step back from this live show, is a set of madness that's happening around the place. So let me go to Linden for a bit. And today, I'm going to bring in Ask Zerdine Mohammed at the end. You understand? Frankly, I'm at a point of saturation with the Azadine Mohammed stuff. And if Guyanese, some Guyanese, not all Guyanese, even some Guyanese can't see it for what it is, I at a point where I feel like, why y'all tried it? Y'all tried it with you. Continue to get your visas revoked, continue to get your bank accounts taken away because you just want to associate with foolishness. But let me go to this here. I want to touch on this.
None of the best. Sales why you do now. How are you give me a tune? Right? Say there. Say you can't improvise. I want you give me a tune. And you, I want you give me a set tune. Right?
But any tune is a sing tune.
Any tune is a sing tune and any tune is a laugh tune. You understand me? You're supposed to know the laugh. You ready? Let me see it now. What? Bring back the books. Bring back the books. Bring back the books. Bring back the law books. Bring back the books. Bring back the books. Bring back the books. I said, bring the law books.
So this here is Dexter Todd, right? Dexter Todd is a forensic lawyer by his own admission. Right? Dexter Todd is with the PN, the 8 PNU in Linden, singing about bring back the books, bring back the law books. First of all, I want to say, for an attorney at law who is supposed to have a wide vocabulary, that was a real lame attempt at a freestyle. Bring back the books, bring back the books, bring back the law. But yes, about 5 words, Dexter. And you're supposed to have a good command in the English language. I'm ashamed of you. Right, Dexter Todd? I'm ashamed of you. Now, let me educate you, Dexter. Let me educate you a little bit. I'll take some time to deal with you, Dexter Todd. Now, based on public record, right? Based on public record, the criminal charges against the now Attorney General, Mr. Anil Nandala, and the Minister of Legal Affairs, over the Commonwealth Law Report books was discontinued in 2020, right? In 2023, the High Court, Dexter Todd, found that Basil Williams' public statements conveyed that the now Attorney General was a thief and awarded Nandalal. I know you know what awarded means, Dexter Todd, right? The forensic lawyer awarded the Attorney General 10 million Guyanese dollars in damages for defamation. In other words, he stole the law books line is not proven fact. It is exactly the kind of allegation that already got Basil Williams hit in court. And I don't know the level of your intelligence, Dexter, but for some reason, I feel that Basil might got a little more knowledge than you. Somehow. So, in this video that I showed you, Dexter Todd is singing, "Bring back the books, bring back the books, bring back the books, bring back the law books." Then, the first response I have to give is very simple. Dexter Todd is not doing law. He is doing karaoke with the old opposition propaganda. That is it. Imagine being an attorney at law and a member of parliament, and instead of respecting the legal record, you are turning yourself into a remix machine for a talking point that has already crashed in court. The charges were not proven. The Attorney General was not convicted. Discontinued. And after that, the court found Basil Williams' public accusation defamatory, Dexter Todd. Again, Dexter, I'm telling you, they awarded damages. So what exactly is Dexter Todd trying to revive here? Law? Or could it be political folklore that the PNC is known for? An attorney should know the difference between an allegation and an established finding. But here comes Dr. Dexter Todd, the forensic lawyer, behaving like he missed the judgment. He missed the discontinuance and only caught the chorus. Bring back the books, bring back the books, bring back the books, bring back the law books. He's an idiot. Sorry to say, I'm sorry to say, Member of Parliament, but that is idiotic behavior. Dexter Todd is singing from a legal hymn book that the courts has already marked as unreliable. The words are right in the hymn book, Dexter Todd. That hymn book that the PNC gave you to sing from, unreliable. That is the embarrassing part. This is not some roadside commentator who doesn't know better. This is a lawyer, a member of parliament, someone who should understand that once a charge is discontinued and a court later rules that the thief narrative was defamatory, you don't keep recycling the same line unless your politics is stronger than your professionalism, Dexter Todd. And it seems to be so. You're longing to rise in the PNC, right? It seems to be kicking your professionalism in the nuts. Dexter Todd has moved from shadow minister to shadow DJ, spinning the same scratch records. Bring back the books, bring back the books, bring back the books, bring back the law books. While the actual court record is sitting there saying, no error, try again, Dexter Todd, cannot compute. Dexter is not advancing an argument. He is auditioning for the lead vocalist of the APNU All Hits Band. One thing about the opposition, when the facts beat them, they don't retire the lie. They put it into music. They make a song. They make a song. You understand? Now, this is what's happening. This is what's happening, or I should say this is what happens when politics becomes so bankrupt that the people start performing stale allegations like stage dramas, right? And again, not cultural center, theater guild, small stage production. Instead of bringing policy, Dexter bringing chorus. Instead of bringing evidence of these stolen law books, Dexter bringing entertainment. Instead of bringing credibility, the shameless, listless publicity whore, Dexter Todd is bringing gimmicks. Dexter Todd should be very careful, because every time he sings that line, he reminds the country not of the Attorney General's guilt, but of the opposition's addiction to repeating claims that could not stand up properly in the end. You cannot claim to be serious about law while mocking the outcome of legal processes just because the results did not fit your politics. That is not legal integrity, Dexter Todd. That is political bitterness in a not well-fitting suit. Dexter, I don't know why why sort of people feel the suit this got be set. It's a little sickening. Slacken it up a little bit. Put a little space. Stop it. Dexter Todd looks less like a sober politician and more like a man trapped in a loop, chanting a slogan that the courts have already helped expose as dangerous territory. Now let's look at his hypocrisy. If Dexter Todd respects the law, then he should respect the legal outcome. If he respects the court, then he should respect what happened after the charge was discontinued and after the defamation ruling. But he ignores both and keeps saying the same line. Then let us stop pretending. This is not about justice. The same line Dexter is using has nothing to do with justice. Right? Nothing at all to do with justice. What Dexter is doing here is about creating mischief. It's about creating mischief. Dexter starts singing about bring back the law books. It's not Dexter saying to the country, I will endeavor through the legal system to get these law books back for you. Right? It's for attention. It's for attention. Dexter is rehearsing allegations, not presenting facts. He's singing yesterday's accusations after the courts already changed the tune. Dexter Todd may be a lawyer by profession, but he's a propagandist by performance. And Dexter, that charge died. The defamation case landed. And he's still holding consort. You understand? Dexter needs to decide whether he wants to be taken seriously as an attorney and a legislator, or whatever he wants to be remembered as a, or I should say, if he wants to be remembered as a political entertainer, singing recycled accusations with no respect for the legal record. None. Because when the facts are against you, volume is not evidence. The chorus that you're trying to sing is not proof. Right? It is not proof. And you know something? A lot of people already believe Dexter Todd used the Adriana Young matter to elevate his own political visibility, appearing as a high-profile face around a national tragedy that had the entire country emotionally invested. Dexter Todd was publicly identified in reportings as the family's lead attorney in the matter, kicking Darren Wade to the dirt in the mud. So when he now pops up again, singing recycled political lyrics about the law books, it only reinforces the same impression. Dexter Todd is not just to the issues. He's not drawn just to the issues, but to opportunities for exposure. This is why the public must watch him carefully. Because there's a difference between advocacy and self-promotion. There's a difference between legal seriousness and political performance. And Dexter Todd too often looks like a man confusing the two. Dexter Todd has moved from an attorney at law to an attention at law. He's no longer arguing cases. Dexter Todd is now auditioning for relevance. And the man is treating politics like open mic night. And every controversy becomes a stage. Every allegation becomes a chorus. Instead of respecting the legal record, he's remixing propaganda because recycled scandal is easier than original relevance. You understand? This is not leadership. This is opportunism with a microphone. Right? The reason people read this as a search for relevance is because it fits a pattern. Dexter appears more energized when there's a charged public issue that he can use as a launch pad. In the Adriana Young matter, he became the visible public figure around this deeply painful national issue. Now here he is again trying to recycle the law books line because he seems to believe controversy is the ladder to the top. And that is what makes this distasteful. Because when a politician starts moving from issue to issue with the same hunger for attention, people begin to ask, are you serving the public or are you serving your own profile, Dexter Todd? My last advice to you, Dexter, on this, you should stop behaving like relevance can be manufactured through gimmicks. A lawyer should respect the record. A politician or a parliamentarian, I should say, should elevate debate. But when you are reduced to singing old accusations that already ran into legal trouble, all you're really revealing is this. You are not setting the agenda. You are chasing relevance. Dexter Todd, like in the Adriana Young situation, he is not bringing any justice to the family. Dexter Todd is not bringing back any law books. All Dexter Todd is doing is bringing back himself by any means necessary. Right? By any means necessary. He is willing to do so. Now, I'm done with you. I ain't gonna go to Saiku because Saiku been singing, but, well, Saiku cover a Morgan Heritage song and sing but cash grant. Right? And cash grants are things that his administration took from the people. So me not even bother with that. Who know? Now one jump to my boy. You know, Nail Sankar said something in relation to this, you know. Let me just pull it up and read it to you. Right? Nail Sankar talks something about this. Let me get exactly what he said. I hope me butchering this man's name. Oh, man. Oh, right. Good. Now, he had a post. He posted this. And he said, the problem with throwing all kinds of shit at the wall and hoping some of it sticks is that fundamentally, it's still shit. And that is a perfect analogy for what this team here is moving to now. This is literally an example of showing any kind of shit to the wall and hoping something stick. You understand? I keep promising to bring him on this program, but I keep not engaging him after the fact. And I need to do that. Because we need to hear from young Guyanese like Mr. Sankar. You understand? Now, the newsroom report from March 12th, extradition hearing, the attorneys for the Mohammeds argued in court that they were being targeted because of their involvement in a protest supporting Palestinians. Right? The problem with throwing all kinds of storylines to the wall and hoping one stick is that a bad excuse does not become a good defense just because you repeat it loudly. First, it was political persecution. Now, it's Palestine. Tomorrow, it might be something else. And that is exactly the problem. When the explanation keeps changing, people start to see not principle, but desperation. This is not a serious defense strategy. This looks like a public relations buffet. You collect your plate, you take one grievance, you add one emotional international cause, you're mixing one victim narrative, and hope the public stop asking the hard questions. right? Supporting a cause does not automatically erase legal scrutiny. Wearing a shirt is not a shield. Showing up at a protest is not diplomatic immunity. And, and wrapping yourself in a global struggle does not magically make every allegation against you invalid. The problem with throwing all kinds of shit at the wall and hoping some of it sticks is that it is still fundamentally shit. The words of Nail Sankar. A weak argument does not become noble because you drapes it in the Palestinian flag. Right? You cannot launder illegal defense through public sympathy. If the answer to every allegation is a brand new storyline, then people are right to ask whether this is a defense or just narrative shopping. Every time one excuse starts losing steam, another one appears. It wasn't them. I's a gold miner, not an exporter. My father sick. I got headache. Somebody broke into my car. Somebody slashed my driver tire. Public persecution, the government, the political persecution, the government. No. Oh God, we went to protest for Palestine and they want we. Which one is it? Which one is it? Is it the political persecution? Is it Palestine? What else is going to be next week that might trigger some sympathy for these guys? Right? That doesn't look like innocence speaking with confidence. That looks like a defense searching for whichever costume might fit the moment. This is what happens when facts are uncomfortable. The script starts changing, but the performance gets louder. You can't keep moving from argument to argument and expect the public not to notice the pattern. Real innocence does not need a rotating cast of explanation. What they seem to be betting on is confusion. Throw enough claims into the air and hope the public gets distracted from the central issue. But I say to you, Azadine and Shell, Guyanese are smarter than that. And people can tell the difference between genuine advocacy and convenient image management. Plenty of people support Palestine's cause sincerely. That cause is bigger than any one businessman's legal trouble. So dragging it into an extradition narrative risks making a serious humanitarian issue look like a personal shield. This is what really I find offensive here. Using a cause that people genuinely care about as a convenient emotional umbrella for personal legal problems. Palestine is not a public relations refugee. A national and international humanitarian issue should not be reduced to a courtroom prop. If your defense keeps changing, depending on what might get the most sympathy, then people are entitled to ask a simple question. Is this about truth Or is this about throwing every possible excuse at the wall and praying one sticks? When every week brings a new explanation, the public stops seeing a victim and starts seeing a scriptwriter in crisis. And that is exactly what we're seeing here, right? The win scriptwriters are in crisis. Brian Max, big up yourself. Prince, if you're on the live, big up yourself. Ever Frost, big up yourself. I notice these guys getting attacked too. They're getting attacked for speaking truth and fact. Brian Max has not said anything untrue. Anything that you've heard from Brian Max, you can reliably say, hey, this is facts. Wherever you hear from Prince and Everfrost, although they might do it in a kind of a satirical fashion, it's facts. Those guys and myself have presented more facts to you than We Invest in Nationhood as a political party or Nazar and Azadeen Mohammed as individuals have ever shared with you all. Right? I noticed the other day, and there's so much I want to touch on. Let me start with this. So I noticed the other day, the fool fugitive offender opposition leader went to New Amsterdam market and was lamenting about the conditions in the market, and look how the government got it, and look this, and look that, and he this and he that. This is the thing that should stop the Guyanese. The mere fact that the opposition leader does not know whose purview the New Amsterdam market falls under should speak for itself. It is basically a fishing expedition, right? Go and find anything wrong in Guyanese society and try to make it look like, oh, the sky is falling. Why didn't Azadeen Mohammed take his waddling self up to the mayor and city council, town council of New Amsterdam, and ask them what the hell is going on with the New Amsterdam market? But that's to show you that he has no interest in learning how the local government authority works, or to find out how the country is run, or how things are done, or how you prepare a budget, or how you spend government funds. If we bother with Azadeen, I honestly tell you, in the first probably 2 years, you might be good. Because Azadeen got spent on everything. I hear tech dog. The third year is sufferation gonna start, inflation. Because again, Azadeen Mohammed is not someone who knows how to manage money. Azadeen never had to manage money. He just spent as he liked. So when he see government officials actually managing money, it looked like corruption to he. Why you build all the road and done? Why you build a house for everybody and done? He doesn't realize that those things aren't sustainable, that you have to do things in increments, right? That regular people just got to save to get to where they want and accomplish goals. Azadeen, I see that want that. You understand? And that's the difference. That is the difference. So this idiot is in New Amsterdam market talking about the condition of the market and ain't know who in charge of managing, rehabilitating the market. Right? I saw another video in the same market where he says he never felt no go to the US. All the gold gets sold to Dubai. So how the US is involved? I have never seen any high level of stupidity exhibited from somebody. Listen, it's true to say, being rich don't give you sense or a brain. Being rich doesn't give you intelligence. Imagine Azadeen does not even understand that whilst the goal Balram Ramroop. The Brian Max I talking about. The Brian Max I talking about is not the Podigi one. They got two Brian Max. At first, I don't want it, but I got two Brian Max. It's not the same. Anyway, what was I saying? I gotta stop reading the comments. But at the end of the day, people, this guy talking about the gold not being shipped to the US and it being shipped to Dubai. So how the US involved? How the US want it? It's because they use their system. You understand? The banking system, the wire transfer system between you and Dubai. Excuse me. Between you and Dubai in terms of payment is the Americans own it. Visa, MasterCard, wire transfer is the Americans managing it. You understand? So you use their system to do an illegal activity. Right? Also, Brother Razadine, there's no straight flight from Guyana to Dubai if you're shipping stuff. It's got to go through various countries. That means you use U.S. territory to engage in fraud and smuggling. That is why they're involved. Because the empty boxes of the gold passed through their country, right, was shipped through their country. For the gold that was undeclared, they reused government seals, passed through their country, and that is fraud. That is fraud, sir. So that stupid statement you made in the market about not shipping gold to the US and shipping gold to Dubai and how the US is involved, it just highlights how dumb you are, sir. How absolutely empty your top side is, brother. Right? Absolutely empty. Absolutely empty. So I hope somebody shares this with Azadin so he could understand why the US is involved. Because you use their territory to facilitate your illegal activities. And they took offense to that. That's why they're coming for you. You understand? That is why they come. They don't care if the gold was shipped to them. You use their thing and they're coming for you for that. Another thing I wanted to touch on, and I'm wrapping up with this one. So, the guy is still a red-skinned guy. I don't know what he is or thing, but when there was cash grant the last time, I think he dressed up in a Spider-Man suit and go and collect the cash grant. He got heavy tongue. He talked like this. And very bad, like you know what I'm saying? Heavy tongue man on. He look like he bleaching. I think this Carly, something critic. It's not Guyanese critic. There's some other critic this Carly. But he's a red banner, he's done TikTok and he going on and he going on. So I was scrolling and I saw, no, actually somebody sent the video to me. Somebody sent a video to me. Let me see if I find it quick. Hold on. Somebody sent this video to me. No. Somebody sent it. Was who? Why? Corbin Harbajan. Anyway, I'm now finding the. Or was it on Facebook? I think somebody sent it to me on Facebook. Give me 2 seconds here. Right? But he jumped with Claudine. Right? Now, I know Claudine could represent yourself. But why y'all understand my point that I'm making is this one. Anyway, so what he was saying was, I can't find it. What he was saying was that Claudine was disrespecting the opposition. Little critics. Yes. Little critics. He was saying that Claudine was disrespecting the opposition leader. And she shouldn't do that because at the end of the day, he's the opposition leader and you must give respect. And if people cuss out Jagdio or Irfan, we can go on. Little critic. They just do it. That's why Claudine does go on. That's why I just go on sometime. And they don't even limit it to the vice president and the president. There's attacking the people cheering, the wife, the mother, the father kind of thing. You ain't see that little critic. You talking about respect for opposition leader? Okay, fine. Respect for the opposition. Where's somebody president? Huh? All this stuff there's somebody president. Really trouble the prime minister. I've never really heard like social media people attacking the prime minister. But all the stuff that the somebody president, you didn't hear it? You don't think it's disrespectful? Why you make a video and tell them stop? Why you don't stop? Make a video, tell Mel stop with your propaganda unless you got evidence of all them things you're talking about. All the corruption Mel speaks about, up to now, she released no evidence with it. Not one. Allegation with Mel talk about how the president proposed to some woman, then come back to his current wife. And you see the little critic? You see when opposition members of parliament and online influencers was body shaming the first lady of this country? You ain't see that? You don't think that was a little disrespectful? You arguing for respect for the opposition leader and the president, the vice president, ministers of government are disrespected daily by members of WIN and supporters of WIN. And those of you making a video for Banner, you better get out of here. You better get out of here. You understand? I'll say this to you. Once they disrespect people in government, they got people who gonna disrespect them. It gonna happen. It will happen. It will happen despite how you feel about it. It will happen. And that's the kind of selective outrage I have a problem with in Guyana. The selective outrage. Right? When David Hines, as a member of parliament, spewing all the racism and his division, you don't notice that? To call it out? But you jump on Claudine. You jump on Claudine because you feel there's a big old woman and you could do as you like. Claudine could deal with you. Claudine could deal with you. But I just wanted to highlight the double standards by people who follow Azzedine Mohammed and Azzedine Mohammed lovers and supporters. Sir, what Azzedine said in the masjid applies to you as well. And you know the hypocrisy, this is why many people don't agree. The hypocrisy of some individuals. If members, okay, let me watch what's saying here. If persons are of the view that Azzedine Mohammed's comments are legitimate in relation to the rules and the regulations of the religion, then it's legitimate. Y'all should legitimately condemn him for supporting anybody in the LGBTQ community, as he posted up that he did. So it's double standards. He chastising them on one side, and on the next side, he posting photos with them. You're talking all kind of thing about them. But on the other hand, no, I just say them because I'm in the mosque. So who you lying to? The people in the mosque or the people in the public? That's what Azzedine Mohammed needs to do. Let us know what your stance on the issue is. Are you willing to be tolerant to other humans? Right? Or are you going with the rules of your religion? You got to pick a side. You got to pick a side. You got to pick a side, brother. Right? And mind you, I am not saying that Islam should change its rules, regulations, or how it does do things. Not saying that. But if you are going to hold to say, I am speaking from a religious point of view, then how are you dealing with these people who you're claiming unclean and, oh gosh. Right? How are you dealing with these people that you chastised in the mall just the other day? The mosque, not the mall, sorry. Azzedine Mohammed has not been able to speak deeply and profoundly on any issue in this country. Shem, thank you. Little critic. You're mixed with Afro. You might be Afro and Amerindian based on how you look, right? You heard when Shell talk about black people. You think you should got some respect for black people? Just Afro Guyanese in general? Bye. Y'all try. Y'all try. I cannot wait for this Muhammad stuff to wrap up and for him to go on his way. Honestly, I feel like he's a blight on this nation. Right? A blight on this nation. I see giving away some cars. Y'all keep collecting things from Muhammad and then wonder why things happening to you after. Continue to collect things from Muhammad like y'all hearing good. Some Guyanese don't like to hear. So there's got to feel. There's got to feel. The whole camp win. Can't left and go no way. Not even to Tobago. Sorry, they could. They can't go to the States. They can't go to the land of opportunity. You understand? They can't go to the land of opportunity. They ain't got no bank account. They can't buy nothing online. People who dealing with you got worry if they make a process you online and they find out, they have problems too. You understand? Guys, it was good being back here with you. Marisha Sammy, if you're here, try C4. Try C4. Oh my goodness. Guys, zero sugar. Right? Zero sugar. 300 milligrams of caffeine, zero sugar, zero synthetic dyes. We're going the healthy way. We're going the healthy way. Guys, I'll see you here tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you for tuning into this morning show. Please remember to be good Guyanese out there. Please travel safely on the roadways. Look out for those persons who aren't looking out for you. Today, the Muhammad case continues at the magistrate court. Also, today marks the beginning of Cash Grant Week. Cash grants distributions are to start this week. So I know a lot of persons are going to be excited. The public servants going to get first. They the system can deal with them first than everybody else. Hello, if you're overseas and you're coming to visit, know that you cash grant here too. Right? Once you're in the Guyanese system, you got your ID card and thing, know that you cash grant here, waiting for you whenever you come. Because at the end of the day, you're Guyanese and we love you. Right? Look, talking about the man at the New Amsterdam market saying the cash grant is a distraction. What? What? Distraction from what? Distraction from what? You talking about the cash grant being 200,000 and only 100,000 is a distraction. It's a distraction from your case. Right? The government said again, not 200,000. They didn't hide it. Right? They said at no point anybody was able to play a video or to give a news article quoting president, prime minister, vice president, government minister with responsibility for finance saying that the cash grant is 200,000. Nobody. So I don't know what distraction he's talking about. Nevertheless, y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. Please share the live. And as I usually say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue saki, this land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no trees.